There you go.
Are we on?
I think we're on.
You think we're on? We are always on.
We are always on.
Yeah. Okay. I can't see diddly, so it just sent me to my home screen. But we're live, right?
I believe so.
All right. You know what? A couple midlife women trying to figure out technology is just. We need like I don't know what, a 10-year-old or something to figure all this out for us. Isn't it? Isn't it the little kids that know all this stuff? Like,
it is.
Dare I say resetting the clock on the VCRs? That really makes me look old, doesn't it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, and Moxie brothers and sisters, I am so glad you're here. I would love to see who's doing what on, but I'm not going to tempt fate and end up disconnecting us. So I'm just going to go back and I'll revisit comments when we're finished here. Unless someone has a 5-year-old that they can teach us how to do this. Anyway, good morning.
Good morning.
It is Monday, and what better day to kick off the week than with a morning cup of Moxie. I'm on round 2. I should say pot number 2.
No way.
Well,
I'm going to have to pull you off the ceiling, I think.
When the camera stops focusing on me, you know I've gone just one cup too many. But in all fairness, it is half calf, so it takes me twice as much to get like bing, bing, bing. But so anyway, I want to say thank you to you, Donna. I am so thankful for you, and we should be thankful all the time. But this week, leading up to Thanksgiving and, the abundance and the blessings that we have in our lives. And I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for everyone that follows me and you, both of us, because we both have things going on in social media and in our lives, phone calls and texts and stuff. And so I'm just very thankful. And I think, that's a good thing to kind of talk about today. What do you think?
I believe so. I think in this spirit of Thanksgiving, since this is Thanksgiving week, that to be reminded of the things that we're grateful for and thankful for. I know it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year, but amongst this year, there are many doors that have opened and many opportunities that are still present. And I think being grateful for my friend Cheryl and my family and the roof over my head and the opportunities that keep presenting itself every day. And I think just to be mindful of the good that surrounds us through God and his love and what he brings to us each day.
Yep. Having, of course, you can't avoid the news. I try, but it's out there. But what I try to look at is it's difficult to not get caught up in the negativity and the things. And I think that speaks throughout time, everybody for a long time has said, how come there aren't more things reported about the good that's happening? They only report on, the bad things that are happening. And it's not to diminish the trials that we have gone through and we do go through, whether it was just simply this year or in life in general. But, when you start connecting dots and things as you move forward and then look back and start, seeing where his hand has been, and there's been so much innovation. I've seen so much innovation and good things coming out of, what otherwise is being built as a very terrible scenario. And like I said, it's not to diminish it at all, but how often have we had time by ourselves? And, I've seen people start nonprofits and learn some, pretty fabulous Moxie hobbies, like, not javelin throw, axe throwing. There were a couple of people that taught themselves some things like you would never imagine someone intentionally wanting to learn how to do. And I'm like, wow, that's fabulous. And I'm making notes so that if, when we can all be together again, maybe it would be a good Moxie outing to do some of these cool things. But, what have you seen, Donna? What have you
Oh
been?
gosh, our friend Maureen, she went back to school.
That's right.
Yes,
Was that just this year?
this year. She's completed, I guess, her first semester. Her first semester. He had talk this morning.
Easy
Sorry.
for you to say.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm so proud of her. She's gone back to school and she's doing really well. She's getting her degree in hospitality and marketing, and I'm just so thrilled for her. It's just it's wonderful. I know people that have started businesses. I mean, just new opportunities keep coming around. I mean, whether it's like you said, nonprofits or just time to sit and reflect and get motivated and energized about something new to start in your life.
Yep. I can say too, now that I'm thinking about it, back during the early spring and into the summer when in Pennsylvania, like everything was still closed, but they left the state parks open because, there was enough space to be able to do that. So everybody, was, aware of, not approaching people and keeping the distance and everything else. But I started hiking and started doing more of my photography as prayer, worship, and meditation. And I have folders. I mean, because our one state park is only about 10 minutes away. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for a hike today. And it was just so amazing to be in nature. And had I not had that, I should say opportunity of quarantine, but the circumstances of quarantine, I wouldn't stop what I'm doing just to go for a hike. And I started realizing that how healthy it was for me, not to just get the exercise because I haven't exercised since like March, really, uh, but to just be out in nature and fresh air and even seeing people, some that I knew, at least we can kind of call to each other and say hi and a little bit of interaction and not put anybody in harm's way by being in a closed space or whatever. um, but that was an opportunity for me. And there was one weekend, my husband was away. I forget what he was doing. Oh, fire company training or something. And I went and found a place, of nature reserve that I had no idea even existed, about 15 minutes from here. And I spent the day hiking there and just doing photography completely by myself. And it gave me lots of ideas to do guided hikes and that kind of thing. Then, next spring, summer, when the weather gets a little bit nicer, I'm a fair weather outdoor person. I don't.
Yeah, me too.
So anyway,
In the rain for you or the snow, huh?
yeah, no. We were laughing yesterday. I took the opportunity yesterday to, it was our 34th anniversary. And we both kind of looked at each other laughing because we totally forgot it was our anniversary. And I know, right? And I'm like, I don't know if I feel like going out or doing anything. He's like, I really don't feel like it because it was 34 degrees or 38 degrees and raining. And it just was like miserable all day.
You had 34 on your 34th.
There we go. Who
I mean,
knew? I never made that connection. So my tradition is it has to be cold and raw and wet and just I guess a typical Northeast Pennsylvania day, fall winter day, for me to go out and put up Christmas lights because apparently that's
oh,
just my track record. So he looked at me, he goes, the perfect thing for you to do today would be to go outside and put up Christmas lights. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. So I decorated a little bit around the house and bought a couple trees. There's a man in our church that he has something like 24 trees in his house, and
what?
oh yeah, he loves Christmas trees. And I'm like,
Oh,
You're my inspiration. So I have a little 4-foot tree here, and one in the dining room, and one in a spare room. And that's not to mention we'll put up our regular tree at some point. But I'm like, I need more joy, you know?
Definitely. I know I've been, my aunt's been saying, let's come help me put up my Christmas tree. And I'm like, all right. So I'm waiting for the call.
All right.
That could be today. We could be doing that today. So, but, Hallmark's got great Christmas movies. And so all weekend I've been watching the Hallmark Christmas movies, getting in the spirit and, getting all Christmassy.
Yes.
So decorating yet, but it's coming.
And I think, this year too, we need some joy and positivity a little sooner. And I know some people decorate, earlier. We traditionally
Have been decorating earlier.
Yes.
I've noticed so many more Christmas lights and Christmas trees already up, where before it would be like after Thanksgiving you'd start seeing the trees pop up. But now I've already seen trees up for weeks.
Yeah, I was in a couple stores over the weekend, and I was amazed on how much Christmas ornaments, and the Christmas department was like, did Black Friday already happen, or the day after Christmas sales already happen? Like, there were shelves that were just empty. Now I don't know how full they were to start with, but it was like they were cleared out of a lot of things.
Right.
But so now it is a little bit earlier than I usually do for, see, I love Christmas music, My CD collection of Christmas music takes up one cabinet, and my family traditionally gets me a new CD every year. I told them they can stop. And, but I was not allowed. What's that?
I didn't know this about you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Some Christmas music.
But I was not allowed to decorate or listen or play. Hi, Jasper, or play any.
Make a morning appearance.
There he is.
Like, this is a little too early in the morning. Like, well, I'm still in bed snuggling.
But I'm not allowed to do anything Christmassy generally until after Santa crosses the Macy Day parade line in front of Macy's.
Oh, right.
Which is Thanksgiving Day, but I've already started playing Christmas music.
Oh yeah, and the radio stations already started playing Christmas music too. So,
yep,
absolutely. But it does get you in the spirit and in the mood.
Yes, and happy. And so I was kind of thinking about it is, you see a lot of jokes and stuff that 2020 is, a year to forget, or a year to whatever. So I think it'll be, yes, in many respects, a year we want to certainly leave behind us. But, just seeing things and how some of the changes, the positive changes that have come about, I think is a good thing that we'll want to take away.
Me too. Yeah, I think so. I think noticing, like you said, just being present, being mindful, and just being appreciative for what we have. Not what we don't have, but what we have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that helps change our perspective also.
Yeah, and
when we're feeling down, to go back and just reflect on the good and the positivity that's around us, because it could always be worse, and you don't want the worst to come about. You want to be grateful for what we have and be able to move forward with that.
Yes, and I was just pulling up. It was 1 Thessalonians 5 something.
Oh, you can do it. Pull it up.
I can do it. Like, okay, so
there it is.
I'm so happy for my the online Bibles, which I use all the time. 1 Thessalonians 5, I think it's 12. Nope. Oh, 16. So 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 16, rejoice always, pray continually, and give thanks in all circumstances. So, because this is God's will for us. So it's actually 16 to 18.
That again, that is powerful.
Rejoice always, pray continually, and give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you.
In all circumstances.
In all circumstances.
Yes, exactly.
And
That really that home.
yeah, and it's I try hard. Sometimes in the moment it's difficult to,
Oh yeah.
stop yourself, when you're on that slippery slope of emotion and sometimes it's a body chemistry thing, a sugar crash or something where you feel yourself just sliding downhill, and it can be difficult to stop and go, wait a minute, this is how I'm feeling. The emotions are fleeting. Our emotions are just always going to change and usually lead us in some weird direction. But to stop ourselves, I think just takes practice. I know for me, it takes a lot of practice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And discipline. But just to okay, you know what? Everything right now, for me, honestly, I struggle with seasonal disorder. I don't even like that word, disorder, but seasonal depression, like February, March timeframe, because it's just gray and I'm not outside at all. And quarantine was like continuation of winter for me. And so while it's like, I just work in my little corner of the world here, so that didn't change. But until I started going out and hiking, like I just felt like I was inside. I had no reason to go outside. But to stop myself from feeling depressed or just lost, I want to build up the thought pattern of stopping myself and being prayerful for thankful for the circumstances, because even though my emotions were, body chemistry were telling me one thing, I got a lot of different things accomplished and achieved certain things that I never thought I would. And so that's, something that I am thankful for, that I had that break in time and was able to use it in a different way than I normally would.
And look, we developed our morning cup of Moxie with Donna and Cheryl.
We did. Best thing of all, this is a great way to kind of end the year,
It really is. And I have to say, I am noticing your background with your photography in the background, and that you have Moxie sign that you've got back there. I love it. You're doing wonderful things with your background. I just have to acknowledge that for you.
Well, thank you. I
Snowmen are peeking in the corner too. So.
Yeah,
that was a little bit of your Christmas decorations from yesterday, huh?
Yeah, yes. And I thought, because I thought having some little snowman face. I love snowmen. So little snowman faces and the little I have Moxie sign.
Yeah.
I found literally yesterday, and it lights up, but I either have to put batteries in it or find my little phone charger to plug it into. It doesn't plug into an outlet like I thought it did. So maybe next week it'll be lit.
Oh, well, it's good. It definitely caught my attention.
Good. And I'm working on some new things for the background so that everybody can see, what's going on. Get them curious.
Right. That's great. And your photography is really, you're bringing that back around again, aren't you?
I am. It's in my
I'm
DNA.
excited. Yes, I'm excited to see what images that you have in store for us coming up.
Well, I just want to warn you that one of my sample images will be of you from your life vision journey experience. So, for everybody watching, you're going to have like Donna on the screen and probably Donna in the background.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
But yeah, my prayers are that I will be doing these even remotely, because we did that one session I posted last week of you, that one ending photo where you were just with your eyes closed.
It was perfect. Yeah, I absolutely love that.
And so I'm looking to do, some of these remote experiences, as well as when we can, comfortably travel again, do these not just here, but around wherever we feel like traveling. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
It's funny how God works in us,
Right, right. And that devotional book that you're working on.
Oh,
Oh,
yep.
yeah, looking forward to that.
Well, actually, I am working on and this is kind of a don't tell anybody, although we're live on Facebook, so everybody's going to know, right?
They won't
I,
tell anybody. It's okay.
I was visiting, I had a friend who is a Gen Z, and she was in the area. We had breakfast together a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. And all of a sudden I looked at her and I said, we need to do a book together. And she's like, you're right. And our mutual business coach made a comment that it should be called cross-generation faith. And the play on that is cross, as in
Oh, good.
cross,
Got it.
and the cross-generational part of it being I'm like the tail end of baby boomer and she's a Gen Z. And what we recognized in our conversations was we have the same things that we work through, whether it's a struggle or just concern or things in our lives that are exactly the same, but there are two, it's different. So in other words, belonging,
Right, right.
belonging and finding a group of friends in a church and feeling like you're fitting in when everybody has a history. And on the other end, she says everybody thinks she and her husband are college students and aren't going to be sticking around. And, so there was a lot of interesting things on the same topic. So we're talking about doing either a Bible study or a devotional or a book or all three. And so we'll be working on that, but that'll be a work in progress. So,
Oh, well, I'm excited to see what comes of that. It's
but
very interesting. Yes.
yeah, but I do want to do some devotionals too with some of the things I've already created and turn that into a devotional book too. So
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
So I hope everybody's going to sit down and start kind of planning for the new year and how you're going to finish out this year and what you're thankful for. I know we can all say, whatever, roof over our head. I pray we all can say health. And so I hope everybody will post, below the video, what you're thankful for. What are your top 5 things that you're thankful for? And maybe things that people don't know about you, thankful for some ability that you learned or something you achieved this year that you never imagined you would, or something simple like, roof over your head, food in your belly kind of thing. So I hope everybody will post their thankfulness, and I'm very thankful for everybody who's here and who tunes in every
Oh,
week.
me too. I am so thankful for my family, my friends, the love and support and the connection too. Being able to stay connected with people throughout this year has been a blessing. That's really helped get me through some hard times and just kind of developing the godly connection too. Just getting that his spirit stronger within me,
Mm-hmm.
and keeping that in the forefront and being present and mindful of that, every day, every
Yes.
day. Yes.
And
But what I'm excited about? I'm excited about our, 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 what are we, our Moxie get-togethers? What are we calling
the
these?
Moxie gatherings.
The
Thank you.
gatherings. Yes, these are coming up over the next within the next week or so.
August. I don't even know what month I'm in anymore. December 1st is the first one. So there are 3 coming up. I will post the dates, and the events and the login information is within the Moxie Sisterhood group. So for anybody who's watching who's not part of the Moxie Sisterhood group, you can go to the group. You can just go to your browser and type in ownyourmoxie.com. That'll take you right to the Facebook group. And you could, it's a couple questions and, be part of the conversation in the group. Those events in there, we're doing one at lunchtime, one as a coffee in the morning, and then one as a girls' evening, girls' night in kind of thing. Each one's only about an hour. And I think the evening one, you know, if we're chatting and running long, you know, whoever needs to leave, you know, and we could keep going if we want. But you know, so I try to make them at times that hopefully would help in all different time zones. I realize that we have a couple of people from Australia, so that might be kind of
maybe a little difficult.
But anyway, I hope people will join us. I know we have a number of people signed up, and I think it'll be good. I would like, that's one of my things. So this is kind of a test run, a beta run, and we'll have more of those, you know, in the coming year. So yeah, and
Yeah.
I would love to know how I can serve you guys. You know, what do you need? Sometimes, you know, working from your own little bubble here, either things make sense in your head and really not to other people, or there's a need out there that I'm like, yeah, well, no one will care what I have to say, kind of, you know, thought. And I know that's the enemy. But so let us know what you need. What can we do for you? And how can we encourage you? I know Donna is working on some things as well, and looking forward to seeing some of the products she's planning and creating. So we'll
definitely be visiting that soon.
Yep. So anyway, I hope that everyone has a safe, healthy, happy Thanksgiving. You know, pray continuously and be thankful in all circumstances. And, you know, we can't go wrong.
Oh, can I give you a virtual hug?
Yeah. Hug. Okay. Everybody lean in. Big hug. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have an awesome week. We will see you next Monday for the Cheryl and Donna show. And cheers to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Cheers. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Please don't forget to celebrate you and enjoy your week. We look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.
Cheers.
Cheers.